FXPassion broadcasting you live on YouTube. Hello Akos, how are you? And this is Forex Trading Course 101. Remember, we are trying to build the three pillars. Number one, the strategy and or system. And we are going to talk about system today. And risk management is the second one. And the third is the psychology part, is the big one, is the psychology. Also remember everybody that we are in the intermediate module, we are not in the beginner and the basic module anymore. Hello Stoyan! Did you read the books, Stoyan? Did you read the books? Oh, can you give me one book? There you have. I don't know how much, 20 or 15, you know. Also remember everybody that 90% of traders lose money in the Forex market worldwide. And the webinars are not trading or investment advice. That webinars are for educational purposes only. And for homeworks and questions, you have my Gmail contact, everybody. You have my Skype contact, and if you want, you have my LinkedIn contact. That being said, let's move today. Let's move. What is your strategy part 5? Hello, Miguel. So before we move on, everybody, do you remember we entered a trade AUD NZD? I don't remember. I think it was the second day that we are talking about the strategy. Do you remember, everybody? We entered AUD NZD. We short the market. Hello, time to shine. Remember? Now the question is why and how and where, but more specifically why are we winning on this trade? Why are we winning on this trade? We formed a simple trading strategy. Remember, some reasons went against, some reasons went with, to go. Who knows why are we winning on this trade? In other words, is this luck, everybody, or is this knowledge for the beginner trader? Yes, you were short, okay, but some of you in the webinar said, no, don't short because of that, don't short because of this. Hello, Victor. So, why are we winning? Is this a matter of luck? You know, or we are winning because we get lucky, you know. Why are we winning, everybody? We could be losing, right? Why are we winning? And this goes together with the Forex trading week. We have 6 winners out of 6. Miguel says luck. No, it's not luck. Knowledge. What kind of knowledge? What kind of knowledge, time to shine? There is one metric that you need to learn as a beginner trader. What kind of knowledge are we talking about? Why are we winning? And yes, we need to manage the trade. You know, today we are winning, tomorrow we may be losing. But why are we winning so far? And you need to get this, everybody. When you build your strategy, this pair is a nightmare and difficult to analyze. Well, yes and no, Miguel. This pair is nothing special if you know how to look at it. Okay. Correct, time to shine. So why, everybody, you need to start to think like this as a beginner trader. Why are we winning? Because we entered where there were more probabilities of the market to fall than were probabilities for the market to rise. Trader's checklist was in place. Well, I don't remember quite. Maybe yes, you know. Entry checklist, maybe yes. But the answer I was looking for is what time to shine says. We entered a trade where the technical risk was lower according to our strategy if we would short the market than if we would go long. Okay? And today, this is the last day we're going to talk about strategy and systems today, but you need to start to think about probabilities, everybody. Okay, and when you form a strategy, don't mix the rules. You need to obey your strategy. Okay, so let's talk about, everybody give me a currency pair and then give me indicators. We're going to go on the daily chart. Give me a currency pair and then throw at me as much indicators as you want that you are using. Okay, of course we are not going to use all of them. So we are going to check the daily chart. Okay, give me any pair. Euro CAD, AUD JPY, USD JPY, Canada CHF, GBP JPY, whatever. And remember, first comes first is served. And then give me the indicators. In the meantime, I have a 20 seconds delay on the chat. I'm going to throw some of them that I use. So I use MACD, okay, and I use Stochastic RSI. Canada JPY, great. Canada JPY, Canada JPY. Canada JPY daily chart, and I use, what else? I use EMA Cross 8 with, whoops, not this one, this I don't use. I use EMA Cross 8 and 21, so edit indicator 21, green. You can play around with the colors, okay? So we have the MACD, we have the Stochastic, we have exponential moving average cross as an entry. What else? What else do you use, everybody? And remember, there is no right or wrong. You know, there is no right or wrong. Okay, so in the meantime that we are waiting, I'm going to start. Let's write down. So systems, okay, mechanical system, mechanical meaning you are going to open and close the trade mechanically. So systems, okay, mechanical. So good and bad points, okay, for the beginner trader, of course. RSI, what kind of the RSI? Okay, good and bad points. Okay, so let's go. Add indicator RSI. Okay, relative strength index and black. Let's color code this in black. Okay, I'm going to need your help, everybody, because some of them I don't use. I don't know how they work. And one more is momentum squeeze. Momentum. Time to shine. I have Candlesticks dynamic momentum index, I have Candlesticks momentum oscillator, I have momentum, I have relative momentum index, and I have stochastic momentum index. Which one do you want? Hello, Annie. Which one do you want? Time to shine. Stochastic momentum index, relative momentum index, momentum, Candlesticks momentum oscillator, or Candlesticks dynamic momentum index. And then we're going to stop. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indicators. And remember, everybody, I have a 20 seconds delay. Momentum is fine. Okay, momentum, and again, let's make it blue. Okay, everybody, so there you go. Okay, now this is just an example. Okay, and again, there is no right or wrong. Okay, but this is our system. Now, good and bad points. We're going to talk about good and bad points for the beginner trader. The bad point, everybody, bad point, if you are not a programmer, if you aren't a programmer, okay, bad point, if you aren't a programmer, system will not manage your trade. Okay, this is number one. This is a bad point for the systems, mechanical systems. Okay, if you want to learn about automatic systems, we have a trader, her name is Anyali, and he has a page on the Stochastic YouTube webinar page. You can start watch her lessons. He's very good at building automatic systems. But if our system is going to be mechanical, meaning we are going to enter the trade and exit the trade by ourselves, okay, so the bad point is this: if you are not a programmer, okay, if you're like me, you know more or less about indicators and so on, the system will not manage your trade. Okay, this is a bad point. Okay, one good point for the systems, good point, entries are not subject to interpretation. Okay, entries are not subject to interpretation. But we have a challenge though. Challenge, and it's the same challenge which goes to the strategy challenge. Most beginner traders don't follow their systems. True or true, everybody? You have everything in place, you know, you have your MACD in place to buy, to go long, and you have your MA cross to go long, and you have your Stochastic and momentum and RSI to go long, you know, and you don't go long, right? I mean, we don't go long. Why don't we go long? Because there is always a but I'm going against the trend, but I'm going, the Fibonacci is down, you know. So this is a challenge of the good point. Good point, entries are not subject to interpretation. And the challenge is that most beginner traders don't follow their systems. Okay? Now, there is no right or wrong. Before you can, I mean, how you are going to find an edge, right? There is something, it's called backtesting, and I'm not a professional about this. But before you can choose, right, or how can you see that the combination of indicators is okay, you just go on the live chart, like in here, okay, you go on the live chart, and you can put on the chart, well, the market went up after, it's just an example, and there is no right or wrong, but the market went up after the EMA cross, right? So the market went up, so I would buy in here, right? Because when the EMA crossed, then the market went up. Now, as you can see, together with the EMA, the Stochastic and the MACD, the signal they give us, the signal appeared before, and Stochastic, the signal appeared even before the MACD, right? And one more thing, at least I'm not a programmer, you can change the numbers, the parameters of the indicators, you know. For the MACD I have 13.26.9, which is the default. For the Stochastic I have 80, 22 and 4. you know. Now RSI 14, I believe it's the default, and momentum is 10. I also believe it's default, right? So the stochastic, the RSI, and the momentum, as you can see, they gave signals faster, right? Faster. MACD was later, and EMA crossover was the least, right? Now there is no right or wrong. How are you going to define what indicator is the most important? And number two, what combinations do you want to see before you enter into a trade, right? And the same we bought here, let's make it green, we could have sold EMA crossover in here, let's make this in red, and again check the indicator. So you are going to see everybody similar picture. So the MACD gave the signal before, and before the MACD the stochastic was in the sell zone and the RSI was in the sell zone and the momentum was in the sell zone, right? Now one thing that we can see right now is that the stochastic and the RSI and the momentum there are more or less the same. They give you the same signal at the same place, more or less, right? So as a beginner trader, this is common sense. You don't need all of them. Stoyan says, my approach to the indicator is to use them on top of my trading decision based on the Fibs, structure, trend, and so on. Great. Stoyan, question for you. What if the Fibonacci, the structure, and the trend is telling you to go long, but the indicators are telling you to go short? What are you going to do? And this is the question for all of us, everybody. This is a common challenge for the beginner trader. He learned about RSI, momentum, Bollinger Bands, Stochastic, MACD, you know. Your strategy, I mean the Fibonacci and the market wave and the structure and the short-term trend is pointing up, but your indicators are pointing down. What are you going to do? Long. Great answer, Akos. My next question is, why are you using indicators then if you are not following them? Everybody, we talked with Father FXPassion on Friday, right? So we are going to talk to Father FXPassion on Monday also. If you don't use, meaning if you don't follow your indicators, why are you using them? Why are they on your chart? I will wait for the indicator to get in the same direction as Fibs and trend, etc. Stoyan, tell us the truth. How long generally takes for your trade to manifest? For your entry to manifest, how long does it take? There is no right or wrong, everybody. We are just talking, right? And Time to Shine says, maybe not enter the trade until your indicator confirms. So let's learn this, everybody, today. If this is for the beginner trader and semi-professional trader, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. Okay, if you have indicators on the chart, but you don't use, or better say obey them, they will just confuse you. Okay, everybody, I want you to learn this. If you have indicators on the chart but you don't use them or obey them, they will just confuse you. Your probability and your statistic, the statistic of your account, is going to go down. Maybe not enter. Akos says not always follow the indicators. Akos, thank you for being sincere. Everybody, if you put in a strategy that you are going to use MACD, you must use the MACD. If you put in your strategy that you are going to use the momentum or the RSI or the stochastic, you must use the indicators. It's a must. Okay? And you can't use them sometimes, everybody. Oh, you know, I'm going to use the Fibonacci on Monday, but on Tuesday I don't. You know, I'm going to use the Bollinger Bands on Thursday, on Fridays I won't, you know. For this entry I'm going to use the EMA crossover, but for the next entry I won't. You know, for this trade I'm going to enter with the bullish candlestick formation, but for the next trade I won't use the same. You cannot learn and trade like this, everybody. Why not? Who knows? Why not? What is the problem when we change indicators over and over and we change strategies over and over? What's the problem? Who knows? So Akos, if you want a suggestion, write down your strategy and stick to it. No changes. Because there is a problem. Technical problem, fundamental problem, trading problem. So you are saying that we either have it or not in the strategy, end of story. No, I'm saying that if you have it, you must obey it, end of story. I prefer indicators at significant support and resistance levels. Okay, if this is part of your strategy, then you must use it. Everybody, especially for the beginner traders, what's the problem when you change indicators, you change parameters, you change part of your strategy? What's the problem? This is a $1 million question or €1 question. Because until you understand this, you aren't going anywhere. I only use Stochastic looking for the coincidence in trend at the weekly and daily. Great. Great. Great comment, Miguel. Everybody, who knows the answer? What's the problem when we change? Change strategies, change money management rules, change exits, you know. In the meantime, what is the other good point? So good point is that entries are not subject to interpretation. Clone. Another good point is good point number 2. Exits. Exits. So exits are also not subject to interpretation. You know, this is also a good point for the system. If you have just a strategy, you know, Fibonacci and the trend lines and the candlesticks and the market making higher highs and higher lows, but it's in a retracement and it's a down structure, and you don't want the market to hit your stop loss. Well, the system is not the exits of the system. The exits are not nor subject to interpretation. So let's take, it's just an example, let's take EMA crossover. Okay, it's just an example. So we would enter here short and we would exit here, you know. But the challenge is you must obey, you know. short here, out here. You know, MACD, I don't know, is just an example. I cannot move the, let me see if I can. Okay, there you go, another arrow. MACD is the same, you know, go long in here, go short in here. Of course you need to find the direction first, right? Or short here, out of the trade here. You know, stochastic the same, RSI the same, momentum the same. You know, so good point for the system in comparison to the strategy. Indicators are not subject to interpretation. When the MACD crosses, or the RSI, or the momentum, or the stochastic goes into the oversold zone or overbought, just close the trade. Time to Shine says, you confuse yourself. Yes, but there is one deeper. The problem is that you are adding new metrics into the strategy and will take time for you to learn it, and it's very possible that we will only become more confused. Yes, sir, but there is one deeper, especially if we just have not used it. Everybody, you need to learn this. Every time you change something, you are kilometers and miles aware of being consistent. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key, everybody. So when you are changing, how can you see if your trading system or your trading strategy is consistent at winning or maybe at losing? You know, I wrote in my book, everybody, it's a true story, I have two friends, brothers, okay, it's a true story. I have two friends, they're brothers, and they were learning how to trade, you know, and they were beginners, and they bought an expert advisor. Okay, I think its name it's Elemental or something like this, and we are talking about consistency, and I said, well, now you need to do minimum 100 trades. And one of the brothers said, well, okay, it makes sense. And the other said, oh, I'm not going to wait for 100 trades. I said, well, how are you going to see if the expert advisor works or not? Because sometimes the market is wishy-washy, you know, up and down. Sometimes it's trending, sometimes it's not trending. How are you going to see if the expert advisor is working or not? Because one or two trades doesn't mean that you have found a golden goose. Right? There is no Holy Grail, yes sir. And the first brother, everybody, he tried 5 trades. In these 5 trades, all of them were losing trades. He lost 5 trades. He canceled the expert advisor and he went on the search for another expert advisor or robot or anything else. The other brother went testing and he had 30 losing trades. Not 3, not 13, 30. True story, losing trades. And after 30, he finally got how to adjust the parameters in different market environments, and he started to, of course, expert advisor is only a help, but he started to making more money. I mean, he started to be more positive than negative. Of course, he had also losing trades. As Akko says, there is no Holy Grail. But the expert advisor, you know, he is helping him. Of course, he is losing time to time, but he has an edge in the market because of the expert advisor. And this story is a 15 years old story. Maybe more. 15 years old story. Guess what the first brother is doing today? November 25 or 25th, right? 2019. After 15 years, guess what is the brother number one doing? It's a true story, everybody. Yes, you got right. He is still searching for the expert advisor or robot or the magic JP Morgan Chase robot or program, you know. He's still searching. Why is that? He doesn't get it, everybody. And I need you to get it. Consistency. When you form a strategy, okay, when you form a strategy, consistency is the key. You cannot change the parameters over one trade. Now, I've worked in some institutions as an institutional trader, okay. There is no rule, but most of the institutions, when you build up your system, they want you to trade it for 100 times. Yes, and you look for a new expert. Yes, I will not use EA. No problem, there is no right or wrong. There are no rules, you know. Gave up. No, he didn't give up. He's still searching. He tried about 5,000, you know, robots and advisors and whatever. Because he doesn't understand. He's stubborn, you know. Oh, I want the big home run. Man, the financial market, the Forex market doesn't work like this. You know, so get this, institutions, it's not a rule, but most of them, when they build up a new strategy or a system or whatever, they go over 100 trades. In a downtrend, in an uptrend, during the news, during a sideways movement, consolidation, 100 trades. And then they're going to decide, oh, we have an edge, or we have an edge in an uptrend, but we don't have an edge in a downtrend, or we have an edge in consolidation, but we don't have an edge during the news event, you know. But they do 100 trades. Guess how many trades should you do before you change a parameter of Stochastic or a parameter of MACD or a parameter of Fibonacci or whatever? And Stoyan is saying, wow, he must be one of the most stubborn people in the world. Imagine if he was so stubborn only with few strategies. Yes, sir, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, Stoyan. But this is the reason, this is one of the reasons, Stoyan, why 90, he's not alone, believe me. He's not alone at all. There are a lot of traders, beginner traders, who are watching these webinars and are the same. Changing and changing and changing, you know. And it's never their fault, right? Oh, it's not me. Man, I lost because of the MACD. No. You lost because of you, not of MACD. There is one author. It's one of my favorites. It's called Dr. Van Tarp. He's not in Forex, but he is kind of in psychology, and one of his famous quotes is, we are not trading the market, we are trading our perception, our interpretation of the market. So when a beginner trader says, oh, I didn't lose because of me, I lost because of the MACD, the answer is no, you lost because of you. Oh, but MACD pointed. Man, you are trading your perception about the MACD. Okay? You are trading your perception about the market. Right? And why is that? Because we can look at the same chart and one trader is going to see a downtrend, the other is going to see an uptrend. We are trading perceptions. In conclusion, everybody, about changing the strategies and changing the MACD, or oh, today I'm going to enter only with the MACD, and tomorrow I'm going to enter only with the bullish candlestick formations, you know, and on Friday night I'm going to analyze the market with the momentum. You can, of course, I'm not your father, right? But you shouldn't do this. Time to shine 300. No, 100 it's enough. 100 times 1% and you lost all if strategy is wrong. Yes, sir. Ako says I know him, right? Akos is right, everybody. You know, if you go, Akos, let's be clear. Number one, you do this on a demo account, okay? So you can lose everything, no problem. So you backtest on the demo account, not in the real account. But Akos is right, everybody. If you get to the 51, trade number 51, and it's a loser, well, you don't have an edge, because you are losing until 40, everybody, until 40, 45. If you have 45 losers, 40 losers, and then you start winning, you still have an edge. Right? But if you go to the 51, 52, 53 and you are still losing, then of course you need to change, right? Because you are losing more than you are winning. Stoyan says, well, it's a general common issue that people have a tendency to put blame on someone or something without taking responsibility for own actions. Yes, sir. This is the psychology part of trading. And he says it is very difficult to trade profitable with automatic systems. Annie, I agree with you, and I'm going to tell you more. I don't know one automatic system that it's consistently profitable. No one. Because, and of course I don't know everybody, right? So don't be angry with me. You know, I know Peter here and he has an automatic system and it has an edge. Okay, no problem. I don't know everybody, but I've been around the world, you know, been to some brokerage firms, worked in some institutions. There is no 100% automatic system that has an edge. I don't know. And everybody, also please don't believe in the propaganda and marketing, you know, on the Facebook groups. Oh, this is the wizard peep robot, it makes 90%. It's not. It's not. If this would be a robot like this, everybody would be a zillionaire already, okay? Use your brain, everybody. Don't trust and don't believe the propaganda on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. As Akko said, the Holy Grail does not exist. Okay? And the reason is this, the bad point. The system and the automatic system, until proven contrary, they are unable to manage the trade. You know, because they are numbers. You know, they can manage the. If you are a programmer, everybody, you know, you program Java and, you know, Python or whatever. You can program, but at a certain point, those are numbers. But the market is unpredictable. Okay, and of course there is a war online, you know, between the programmers and the manual traders. You know, they said no, it's possible, and the other no, it's not possible, and the other said yes, it is possible. Okay, in the end, trade what you like, trade what are you comfortable with. Okay, there is no right or wrong in here. If you feel comfortable with the expert advisor or robot or some combination of indicators, just use them, no problem. But be consistent in using them. You know, when when a trader comes to me and he was trying for 5, 6, 7 years, and I ask for his or her records, everybody, guess what I can see? It happens all the time. It's a 100% rule. When a trader is trying to trade for 5, 6, 7 years and come to me, and I ask them, oh, show me your trading report, entries, exits. Guess what I see? Correct. 100% are not consistent with their strategy. All of them, not one. 100% of them who are not profitable, they're trying, right? They're making a few pips, losing a few pips, winning month, losing month, two winning months, one losing month, one winning month, two losing months, and goes year after year after year. They don't have a strong strategy, meaning they don't have a strategy, because you can see, yes, correct. And then comes the conversation, why did you enter here? And he said or she said, oh, because of this and that. And I said, well, why didn't you enter here with the same parameters? Well, but the market was different. I said, no, not true. The market is the same. Your strategy was different, not the market. And then comes the next psychological issue. Passion, this is not true. I said, well, okay, you are the professor, I'm the student. If you say so, no problem. Go back home and good luck to you. Stubborn, stubborn. Everybody, if you are going to ask for help, me or any other professional trader, if you're going to ask for help, open your mind and learn. Don't ask questions just, oh, I want to prove my point that it's the market and it's not me, As the saying goes, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to be right and broke? Or do you prefer to be wrong all the time and full of money? What do you prefer? Being right and broke? Or do you prefer being wrong most of the time and end up with money? Because being right will not always go along with making money. I told you about the student, right? He made a 500% in a week. And he was so right, He broke all the rules. And I said, well, okay, just continue, congratulations to you. And he lost everything and anything in the next week. I prefer to listen and learn. Okay, great. You have a different strategy for trending and for ranging market. Yes, sir. Everybody, let's make a poll. Do you prefer to be right and broke? No, let's make it an easier. What do you prefer? Being right and earn 50% of the time, or being totally wrong and earn 80% of the time? What do you prefer? When you go out with your friends, what do you prefer? When you are in a social meeting with your family, what do you prefer? Do you prefer everybody say, oh, Peter or Jane, oh, you were right, you were right, oh, congratulations, you were right, boy, you were right, and earn 50% of the time? Or do you want your friends and family said, man, you are stupid, man, Jane, you are so wrong, Jane, Passion, you are a moron, man, and make money 80% of the time? What do you prefer? Because the general public, everybody, who is not in trading doesn't understand this. And he's saying, I know someone, he was profitable over more than 10 years trading futures, automatic, big amounts. Last years he has also problems. Well, he's a good trader. You know, maybe the market changed, but 10 years this is a good trader, Annie. You know, go if you want a suggestion, Annie, go to get to know him, make friends with him, talk to him. You can learn a lot from him or from her, Annie. Time to shine, wrong and 80%. Yes, sir. Give me the 80%, please. Of course. Victor, 50%. Come on, Victor. You are joking, right? Right, yes, you are joking, of course. But everybody, this is a FXPassion father talking to you here. If you are not moving from a trading standpoint, meaning if you are not increasing your account and years are passing, maybe it's time for you to self-reflect. You know, talk is easy, right? Talk is cheap, says the saying, you know. It's easy for me to blah 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 blah, you know, but you can reflect upon yourself, everybody. If you are 5, 6, 7 years into trading and you are not moving anywhere, maybe, just maybe, your problem is a bad word, right? Your challenge maybe is psychological. Maybe you want to be right. You know, I have students who want to be right all the time. They're always fighting with me. No, the trend line is not correct. No, the RSI doesn't work, you know. No, the MACD in combination with Stochastic, it's not true, you know. Oh, the Fibonacci here is not working, you know. They always want to be right. But I said, well, okay, how is this being right thing going for you? I mean, can you show me your account? And then it comes, you know, oh, I lost a password, oh, I didn't register my account on my FX book or whatever other page, you know. Why not? Because they're not moving, you know. Talk is easy, everybody. Believe me, I've been there, I know this. Okay? Question. Today we are closing the what is your strategy? Everybody, do you have a strategy in place? Did you write down your strategy? Please type in the chat yes, or please type in the chat no. Let's make a poll. Who in here has a strategy? In written. And remember, I have a 20 seconds delay on the chat. There is no right or wrong, everybody. You know, some of you are here learning, are beginners, some of you are here for 2-3 years. You know, you want to be consistent. Writing down a strategy is not easy, everybody. Okay, so if you don't have a strategy, just type in the chat, not yet, no, not yet. You know, I'm building my system, but not yet, it's not finished yet, no problem. This is not easy stuff. It's difficult. Time to shine. I like the one we built. Yes, I believe so. It's easy, you know, easy to understand, easy to obey, easy to execute. When it's complete, I send to you. Great, Annie. Mine is not finished yet. Great, Stoyan. Miguel, I made you mine. Yes, sir. Okay, so take your time. I wrote some point down what to look for. Great. Questions, everybody. Questions. Questions. Strategy, about strategy, systems. So, consistency is the key. Now, strategy or system, right? So, strategy strategy or system must be, number one, easy to understand, number two, easy to obey, and number three, easy to execute. Remember this? Okay? Must be easy to understand, easy to obey, easy to execute. I'm going to open one of my charts. I hope I didn't clean it up. Give me a second, everybody. I don't remember, it's Euro, D, Euro, New Zealand. Oh, let me check. I think it's Euro, New Zealand. Let me see. Euro, New Zealand. Euro, New Zealand, maybe. Now I clean up the chart. Open a new one, JCloud. Euro AUD, no. Euros, Euro CAD, maybe Euro CAD? Euro GBP, GBP CHF, GBP NZD, NZD CAD. Or maybe the AUDs, right? Let's say AUD USD, maybe. AUD USD. Let's see. Not this one. Okay, in the end, everybody, if you open a chart, right? Just checking, so if we want to use indicators, we add them to our strategy, correct? Yes, sir. The main point, time to shine, is if you are going to use the indicators, you must use them always in every entry. So if you are going to use here, right? Let's delete. Let's take Canada JPY, right? And if you are going to use MACD for an entry, you need to use always, and don't enter, I mean not to enter, you know, without the MACD. If you're going to, it's just an example, it goes for all indicators. Let's say that you're going to use MACD as an entry indicator. So if the MACD doesn't give you a signal, you are not entering the trade. Otherwise, there is no point. And one more thing, everybody, don't do it, you know, support and pivot point and resistance and this and that, and you know, and you have this one, and I'm going to put where is Ichimoku? Ichimoku on the chart, you know. Look at this. Be careful not to make out of your strategy and trading what is called analysis paralysis. You know, I'm going to add the Bollinger Bands again. Where are the Bollinger? Percent Bollinger Band. Okay, doesn't matter. And I'm going to use a simple moving average of 200. There you go. You know, don't do this, everybody. What can you learn? I mean, this is called, it's a beginner mistake, everybody. It's called analysis paralysis. Don't do this. Have a simple strategy, easy to understand, easy to obey, easy to execute. My dogs are barking, something is happening in the market. And have 1, 2 indicators, 3, you know. But you cannot have 50 indicators, you know, and Fibonacci with Ichimoku and everything. But if, for example, we have 6 or 7 on the checklist, correct, but the indicator isn't with us, we still have high probability, no? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you have. But in a series of 30 trades, time to shine, if you are going to notice that you entered 30 trades without one with the indicator, put the indicator out. It's not serving you. Are the dogs your live alarm for the markets? Yes, they are. One is called Ichi for Ichimoku and the other is called Fibo. This is Fibo for Fibonacci. Ichi and Fibo are my dogs. I'm going to show you tomorrow a picture, okay? They're always fighting, you know, always fighting one with the other. Guess what? Guess what? Okay, everybody, see you back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to move forward with the course. So we are ending today with the what? Wow, we are moving, we are earning money with our short. So we are finishing our talk about what is your strategy. Okay, we are going to move forward with the course. In the meantime, if you have questions about strategies and indicators, you can send me an email or contact me on Skype. Okay, counter trend line break bars. Yes, price action is considered a very valid way of trading. Yes, sir. Okay, everybody, stay strong in the markets and trade with passion. See you back tomorrow. This is FXPassion signing off.